Hey, it's me, John from Withe and Stone again, with a quick short on some unusual percussion. I'm wearing right now, they're very fashionable, aren't they? In the Middle Ages, these were called knackers. They're like marching timpani. I used them to accompany the bagpipe towards the end of the circle path there, but something unusual. There's more. The biggest tambourine you've ever seen. In the Middle Ages, these were known as timbrels. They could function just like a regular drum. You hit them on the side. Almost like a clap kind of a sound. Fun stuff. I used a couple of hand drums in the production of the circle path, and I have to throw in a caveat here. They're not my specialty, especially this one. This is Jan's Bowren. This is something she played quite well, and this is something I can barely play at all. A Bowren is a frame drum. Frame drums appear in almost every indigenous culture on the planet. It's a piece of skin wrapped over a wooden hoop. Native Americans, gosh, you go up into Siberia and you'll find people playing them there. You'll find them all over the planet. You find them out in the Orient. You find them in Australia. Everyone has frame drums. What makes a difference between a frame drum and a Bowren, could be part of it is the handles in the back, which is how you hold it. Typically a frame drum is played with your fingers, either down there or held up. The Irish play it with a double-ended mallet called a tipper. Bowren, B-O-D-H-R-O-N. Doesn't sound like it should sound like that. But many years ago, we had an Irish Bowren player tell Jan how to pronounce it. He said, bow like the bow of a boat, ron like your lawn. So Bowron is how we were told it was pronounced. You can stretch the skin with by holding on to the back here and pushing against it. Actually change the tone as you're playing it. Now, here's the problem. In order to play properly with it, you have this figure-8 pattern where you control the balance. I've never been able to do it. Jan was very good at it. So it's kind of hard to show. I kind of cheat. I just play it finding a balance point in the middle there and playing it like this. That's not how you're supposed to play a Bowren. I'm sure if you want to get on the internet, you can find lots of really good Bowren players out there. But I did want to kind of talk about the instrument just for a minute. Another one I used, this one's called a djembe. This is an African version of the instrument. In India, there's an instrument called a dombek. It's not much different. Dombek, I was told, is about the two tones, dom and bek. Dombek. They're all played pretty much the same way. This one is actually a hollow log. If you look, I probably can't see very well on the camera. It's very roughly carved out in the middle. It's a log that's been gouged out and shaped into a drum with rope tension to hold the skin head on. That's a goat skin head on there. I apologize to the goat. but we love our drums. So there you go. Thanks. One last one here. I did mention in the first little prose piece about them hearing the memory of sheep bells in the land. Sheep bells are not very common in Europe anymore. Cowbells are getting quite rare on their own. The idea is you belling a cow is the cow itself doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but as it moves, this bell rings, and it would ring out for miles. You could follow the sound of that bell and find your cow. Well, they used to bell sheep as well. They still do in the Middle East, but not, as I said, not much in Europe anymore. But I actually do have some sheep bells here. They're not very big, and they're not very loud, but if you can imagine, if you have a flock of sheep you're trying to find on a mountainside in the fog, you can follow that sound. Well, that was just kind of for fun. Glad you stopped in, though. That's it for this time. So we'll see you somewhere down the path.